this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your own 6-track looper with an iPad, an audio interface, and a Morningstar MC8. Hey guys, it's JP. Welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before and you want to learn all about music tech and looping, then start now by clicking the subscribe button, hit that bell, and you won't miss anything. Now before we get going, I just wanted to show you that I'm not wearing the lav mic today. I'm not set up like in the full studio as it would be. And this is just more of an experiment. The reason for this is because I'm looking for a way we can actually get more than 2 or 3 or 4 tracks whilst having a really small footprint on the floor with Loopy HD. But if you are interested in what I'm doing, I'm going to list everything that's on here, including the stand, by the way. The stand's really useful. Including that stand, I'm going to list everything in the description box below. So if you want to pick yourself up everything from an audio interface to the stand to the Morningstar, not everything is affiliated. I'm just showing you the links just so you can get up and running. For those of you who are into the channel, you'll know I'm into looping, and part of the channel is all about looping, and I've done tutorials all about Loopy HD, and if you want to see that tutorial, I'll pop it on the card now. But Loopy HD is predominantly with touch and your fingers. So if you're playing guitar, if you play an instrument, you can actually attach things like a MIDI controller. So let's take a look at what we've built. So this is the iPad. This is my iPad. It's a 2018 iPad Pro, so it's the one with USB-C on. It's the 3rd generation iPad Pro. Then the next thing we've got is our trusty Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. This is our 2nd generation one, which is USB, not USB-C. The iPad is actually sitting on what's called the Moft Float. It's a case with a stand built in, and that's why it floats above. It looks like, appears like it's floating. And that's also nice because I can put the audio interface just underneath it. Then if we go around the back, this is where the magic happens, where we've got a little adapter here, and I did a little review on this, which is USB-C and gives you 4 USBs, and it's about £12 on Amazon. It's amazing. So the red cable is the audio interface, and the other cables there just going out to the speaker. One thing to stress on all of this, you can see many cables, but nothing of it is mains powered. You could use this for busking, you could use it in the street, you could use it open mic, you could just use it completely without any mains whatsoever. The white cable is a USB to USB-B cable, which is going into the Morningstar MC8. Now, set up the Morningstar MC8. It has 8 buttons, and I've got a video all about it. I'll link it here. But I've set it up in such a way where this bank is called Loopy HD. We've got 8 buttons, and if we bank up, we've got another 8 buttons, and we've got all these different buttons, and I'm going to show you what these all are. So we've got record and overdub on whatever track you're on, stop and start everything, mute the selected track, double and half the value, track 1, track 2, track 3, and then if we toggle a page, we go to solo, reverse, delete the whole session, tap tempo, erase just the one track that you're on, and we've got tracks 4, 5, and 6. So just to go over that again, tracks 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 are there, and then everything else is around it. Now the way I've set this up so this is CC number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we go into toggle a page. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, if you're creating beats and loops, like our little setup here, maybe you're recording them. And if you are, then you need to get them out there in the world. There is a service available where you can upload as many songs as you like for one price per year, and that service is DistroKid. DistroKid is a distribution service where you upload your music to them, they push it out to all the online stores and streaming services around the world, and then they go and collect the royalties for you. With DistroKid, you can upload unlimited. That's unlimited amount of tracks for one price per year, and that price is $19.99. However, we have a link that's on the screen now. It's also in the description box below, where you can actually get 7% off your first annual membership. Now, there's a couple of different tiers. You can go for the $19.99 one, right up to a label, which is $80, but you can get 7% off that as well. So you can get 7% no matter which tier you choose. So click the link, start distributing your music, and thank you very much, DistroKid, for sponsoring this video. To get that talking to that, what we need to do is we need to go into the settings. So let's go in there now, go to settings, go to control inputs, and you'll see there the Morningstar MC8 is there. You need to make sure it's ticked. There's a little tick box to untick it, but you can tick it and we can say go. Now there's no bindings there at the moment. I've taken them all off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the Morningstar step by step, and we're going to add them all in. So the first one is record overdub, and that is on CC number 1. So what we need to do is we need to add the binding. When you click add binding, it's waiting for an event, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the button, and you'll see there it's come up with CC number 1. And now it's just asking you what do you want it to do. So I want that to be record, but I want it to be record and then go on to the next track. So we've got a couple of options here, as you can see. So the action, we've got basic actions here, we've got track actions here, and we've got toggle record there. But what I'm going to do is the advanced function, I'm going to go to toggle record and then select the next track. So if we do that, it bounces all back and it says, well, which track are we talking about? We mean the selected track, and you can see there that's now got an orange circle around it, and that's fine. So now if we click save binding, so just as a demo, just to show you, we've just done that one binding. If I now press this button, it's now recording. If I press it again, it's stopped and it's gone over to the next track. So let's go to add another binding. The next binding is stop start. So what I want that to do, this is CC number 2, and I want that to be stop start also. Toggle the session, pause and restart. What I want it to do is when you pause it, it flips back to the very first beat of the bar. So what we can do now is, if I've got something recorded, and if I just press this button, it snaps it back to the very, very center, which is 12 o'clock. I hope that makes sense. The next one on here is actually mute, and I want that to be mute the selected track. So we're going to click C, which is CC number 3. And we're going to go to mute, but what we're going to do is we're going to toggle mute and then again the selected track and click save binding. The next one is half, and what half means is half the length of the loop. So we can set the parameters for this to be half the length. So we're going to click that, we're going to add binding, click that, and you can see there you've got half the clock length. So that's what we want there, and save that. Now the weird thing for me with track settings is that's not number 1, that one is. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just to be really pedantic, I want to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to set this slightly weirdly, but it's just the way I want it. So the next one is track 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to add binding, and I've just called it T1 for now. So T1 is CC number 5, and what I want that to do is select a specific track. So if we go there, we go select track, it then asks me which track, track 1. You can see these tiny little icons here. So track 1 is actually this one here. So in my mind, that one is track 1, and then that one's track 2, that one's track 3, because they're all on the top, and then track 4, 5, and 6 are at the bottom. So track 2 is my track 1. It doesn't matter once it's bound in, because you'll just remember that as track 1 yourself. And then we set save binding. So we add the other one, which is track 2, select track, and my track 2 is going to be this one here, the second one in, which they call track 4. And we click save binding. The next one is track 3. My track 3 is this one, track 6. And then we hit save binding. And the last one is double, which is double the clock length. And we click save binding. Now on the Morningstar, to get onto the next page, we have to toggle the page. We have to press these two together. And this will actually change this for another 8 buttons, which is fantastic. So this is CC number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that's how I've set that up on the Morningstar editor on the computer. Okay, so let's just have a look at this. From CC1 all the way through to CC16, I've got commands for each one of those to be doing something on here. And before we wrap up, I just wanted to explain something. You could do this at all as just one tabletop looper, but for people who play keyboards, guitars, you've got your hands busy, when you're a violinist or saxophonist or anything like that, this is a really, really great option where you've got the Morningstar on the floor and you've got 16 patches, basically. You've got 16 different ways of controlling it. You can do even more, by the way, with this thing, and I have obviously got a video all about this. The equipment that you're going to need to set this up is pretty minimal. If you've already got an iPad or if you've already got an audio interface, you just need a couple of cables and something like this to actually take it to the next level. That being said, there's another alternative you could do, where you can actually marry one of these with an iPhone. As long as you've got the right cabling and the right adapters, you can actually create a really powerful looper here, where you've got that for an iPhone and a Morningstar actually running the whole rig. The other thing about that is it's really, really small, so the footprint on the floor is really, really tiny. You could even hide the iPhone away if you were that confident with it. For me, I'd always want to have access to this. There's more things you can do, like volume control and panning, but of course, in case something went wrong, now you could program, as long as you got stop and you got delete on here, you can still do that, but I really want access to it right here. The other nice thing as well is the audio interface. Of course, it sits right under there, and we've got the controls here. So let's say the mic is too hot or the guitar is too hot, I can actually turn them down right here, right by the microphone. If you have found the content of this video useful, then please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me and it helps the channel grow. If you like the channel and you want to support me a little bit further, you can do. You can subscribe to the channel, of course. channels. And you can also buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Buy Me a Coffee keeps this channel alive, and to those who already have, thank you very much. To have a look at buymeacoffee.com and have a look at my membership on YouTube, I called it Caffeine Drinker just to keep the caffeine element in there. If you've got any questions regarding this setup or how I set up the Morningstar, please drop me a line in the comment section below and I'll try and answer them as quickly as I can. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.